Welcome to a very important video. Today you will be deciding where we manage next here on the ChesnoidGaming YouTube channel. We've just done 3 seasons at Chelsea and I'm very pleased that you guys enjoyed that save as much as you did. But it's time to move on. Be fully aware that you can, if you would like to have your own player in this next save, join the Patreon at the VIP tier. It's fully your decision. Just letting you know, if you were thinking about doing it, now is the time to go and do it, because I'm going to be creating the players for this new save over the next couple of days on stream, and I'm going to need to make sure that I get everybody that wants to be in there. So there'll be a link in the description down below to the Patreon. If you want to go and have a look and join up, you are more than welcome to, and I'll add you in, of course. I'm probably going to be doing a new Patreon header video for the page that will go live on the channel, but probably unlisted. So keep your eyes peeled for that as well, for even more details about the Patreon. So where am I going to go? We've got options for you from all of the top 5 leagues in Europe. Yes, there is a French league option on here for the first time, I think, ever. We've been in France in player saves. We have never gone to France in a managerial save. There will be a link in the description to a straw poll where you can vote. We'll show you through the options first. Feel free to watch all of the options before having your vote. You can vote for as many of the options as you would like. So you don't have to solely pick one. You can pick any of the 7 options and as many of the 7 options as you would like. So if you want to vote for 3 of them, and you'd be interested in watching 3 of the 7, vote for 3. If you think you'd be interested in watching any of them, vote for all 7. Etc, etc. You guys know how these votes work by now. So, what are your options? We shall start in England and work our way around from there. Option 1 is a team we have done before. Forgive Mikel Arteta at Leeds United. I'm literally just setting up a save and then I haven't even saved it, just so I can go through all of the different clubs and squads with you. Leeds United, recently relegated to the Championship, a side we have managed before on FIFA 20. I would like to do Leeds at some point in this FC cycle, but whether it's next or after this next one, you guys will, of course, have the chance to decide upon. If Leeds doesn't win this vote, Leeds will be the save after whatever wins this vote. Leeds United in the Championship with a budget of nearly £40 million, which is very healthy for this level. Objectives would be, don't really care about that one. Win the title in the Championship effectively is the most important one. Decent progression in the FA Cup, long-term ones, short-term ones. Replace 3 players from the team. Streak of 7 games with at least 1 goal. The main one is the domestic success, isn't it? Win the league. So I would absolutely have to get promoted at Leeds United, so the pressure would be on. The team is really actually not that great. It's solid for the Championship, but there needs to be a lot of growth there before there's any real hope of it being any good at Premier League level, certainly. So the 11 looks like that. The bench is half decent. The depth is half decent. There's a lot of players, actually, early to mid-70s. There's already a lot of depth at Leeds United, so there might not be that much to do in the opening transfer window, but we would have the open transfer window for the first episode. I've not done that for a while, but the summer transfer window would be open for the beginning of this new save. So Leeds United are your option number 1. Your second option in England, the only two options in England, but Mikel Arteta has made his way to Wolverhampton Wanderers now. Budget here, I know you guys want to know transfer budget above anything else, mainly at the beginning of a new save, is £50 million, so only 10 more than Leeds, which is intriguing. The objectives are relatively unambitious. Just finish mid-table in the first year at Wolves is the go-to for Premier League success. Actually, more of an emphasis on youth development, and sign 1 veteran player is certainly not something I'd like to do, but I might be forced to. And 5 wins away from home in any game, that's not just league matches, is certainly doable. The squad, the starting 11 is better than Leeds. The squad depth is not as good as Leeds, but certainly the 11 is better as a starting point, but there is a lack of depth certainly at Wolverhampton Wanderers. So more work to be done immediately with the squad in terms of fleshing it out. But there is more quality here than there is in the Leeds United potential option for England. Decent side to start with. Definitely a mid-table Premier League side with potential to grow in some areas, but certainly some aging players to try and work out as well and find which direction to take that team. Obviously, the ambition in any save is to go from wherever you are to the very top. It just depends on how long it may well take to do that. So they're the two English options. Leeds United Championship, Wolves Premier League. Now, over the channel to France. We've arrived in France with Mikel Arteta, and Lyon are the potential go-to side in France. In real life, bottom of the table, this past weekend have just won their first game of the season in the 11th round of fixtures. They hadn't won in the opening 10 games. I don't know if there's any under the surface issues at Lyon or whether they've just been bloody awful, but Lyon are your French option. A transfer budget here very similar to Wolves, in fact, exactly the same, of £50 million. The objectives at Lyon probably going to be quite ambitious. Champions League positions and quarter-final of the Coupe Nationale. Financially doable. Youth development takes a high priority here, though, so we would have to focus on the youth side of things in France as well. And the squad, the 11 is the best of the three we've looked at so far. Although, again, depth not spectacular. Not much quality in depth or even that much depth at all. Lacazette, the go-to striker, but obviously at 32 years of age is only really going to go backwards from there. But certainly a number of players that could grow still. A number of players that are probably going to hold their rating, like Tagliafico at 30 for a couple of seasons at least. But there's definitely the opportunity to grow there. Anthony Lopez is obviously a decent goalkeeper and has been for many a year right now in Lyon. So the French option is kind of more of a story based on their real-life exploits or lack of exploits so far this season. Wolves, Leeds, Lyon. Spain is Sevilla. You would have had Girona on this list as well, but MGH has literally just started a Girona save, so Girona are not on the list at present. Girona are top of La Liga. They're having a phenomenal season. Sevilla are 15th in La Liga, another big side that are underperforming, so maybe you'd like me to try and improve their IRL fortunes so far this season. £40 million at Sevilla, so the smallest budget that we've had so far, or the joint smallest budget that we've had so far. As you may well imagine, again, expectations, well, actually high across the board. Wow. High everywhere. Lots of expectation at Sevilla. Champions League position, semi-final of the Copa del Rey, quarter-final of the Champions League expected, and £102 million, would probably do euro if we go to mainland Europe, from shirt sales. Some priority on youth, priority on young players for first team football as well as bringing through the young talent, and a streak of 7 home wins in a row. That's a lot of expectation at Sevilla. The starting 11 is the best of those that we've looked at so far. Everybody's in the 80s. Depth-wise, I mean, it goes without saying that Sevilla, to this point, are the strongest side we have on the vote. The 11 are all in the 80s, but outside of that, there's only Fernando that's in the 80s. A lot of the others are either mid to low 70s or in the 60s. So whilst, again, the 11 is decent and some depth, not sensational for a club of that size and with that level of ambition. So definitely room for improvement at Sevilla as well. But a side I've not managed before. We've done Leeds, we've never done Wolves. I've not done Lyon, but I was at Lyon in a My Player, and I've never been at Sevilla in Spain either. I've also never been at this Italian side either. Playing in purple, perhaps, Fiorentina are the Italian option on the list. I would have had AC Milan on this list as well, but Doc Landers has just moved to AC Milan in his career mode save, so AC Milan not on the list. Obviously in Italy there's not fully licensed teams and kits, etc. There are some teams that don't have their licensing, but I'm willing to overlook that for this save if you would perhaps like me to go to Italy. Obviously, Napoli and Roma unlicensed, Lazio unlicensed, and Atalanta unlicensed as well. Only the 4 sides that aren't, though. So Fiorentina, perhaps somewhere to go. Again, a sizable budget of £40 million, actually, which is decent for Serie A. Objectives would be high on the youth development side and medium elsewhere, but they would want actually a Champions League spot for Fiorentina. So that is a genuine challenge, actually, with Fiorentina to go for a Champions League spot. Brand exposure, etc. 2 players born in South America, we could do that. Certainly youth talent-wise, we'd put some focus on that. And then the squad is... Actually, it's a very attacking formation, isn't it? The squad is okay. It's not bad. It's not good, but it's not bad. It's about similar to Wolves, maybe. So, about similar to Lyon as well, perhaps. They're similarly rated-ish, aren't they? Some good players. Milenkovic is always an option that people say to go to for new signings. Brekalo is always a winger that people say to try and sign as well. Dodo used to be a go-to for right-back too. He's only 24 years of age, still at 77 rated. One of the highest-rated players at the club, actually. Depth-wise, again, not great, but that adds to the challenge. Yerry Mina is a player you'll be familiar with, obviously, from his time at Everton, but at 37 pace, I'm not sure how much I'd play him. Christian Kouame is a striker that certainly would see some first-team football there as well. Good potential for him. Some older players to work out, like Giacomo Bonaventura, etc. Baraki's probably not as young as he used to be now at 30 years of age. There's definitely some room for growth there as well. Is that Artur? It's Artur, former Juventus, former Barcelona, and on loan at Liverpool, Artur as well. So definitely some familiar players there that you guys might want to see me play with. So the potential is there for a maybe Italian experiment at Fiorentina. Do you perhaps want me to go to Italy? Or is Germany your preferred destination? Germany, potentially Wolfsburg. I did one FIFA 16, so a long time ago, before I even started doing saves by buying the shirts. Very long time ago. I have been at Wolfsburg previously, but obviously that's not fresh in anyone's memory these days. At Wolfsburg, a £46 million budget, which is decent. Not bad at all. Objectives, how ambitious are they? Champions League spot in Germany as well. Again, difficult for a club like Wolfsburg at this immediate moment in time to go for that. Some emphasis on youth development, but not a massive amount of priority anywhere, really. Just 10 wins in home matches this season. Actually, won't be that straightforward to go for. 10 wins in home matches. The squad then, here at Wolfsburg, is similar to the majority of the squads that we've looked at. Slightly less than Wolves and Sevilla. Not Sevilla. Wolves and Fiorentina, you'd say. Obviously, Kun Castillo's in goal is the standout talent. And again, depth in numbers, but not necessarily depth in quality, perhaps, at Wolfsburg. Riddler Baku is obviously a player we've recently used at Chelsea, and he'd go in at right-back head of Joachim Mehler, I would imagine. Mehler would probably move to left-back, to be fair, and Riddler Baku would go in there. Maxence Lacroix is a centre-back that a lot of people always recommend to go to for career mode saves. He'd start here with us. Maximilian Arnold is a bit of a set-piece specialist. At least I think Maximilian Arnold is a bit of a set-piece specialist. 83 free kick accuracy is not bad. Jonas Vint is a striker that I've maybe looked to use before, but has never actually come through in any saves. Patrick Wimmer. I think it was more Football Manager we used Patrick. No, it was my player at Leverkusen. My player at Leverkusen, we have Patrick Wimmer. There's Lucas and Mesha, who's a player we've used. Have I used the Mesha before? I think I've used the Mesha before, but a long time ago. Asta Vransk is a player that gets recommended a lot in comment sections. 73 rated at 20 years of age. Some room for growth there as well. Wolfsburg, you're first of actually 2 options in Germany. Wolfsburg sat mid-table in the Bundesliga, but similar to Lyon's and Sevilla's struggles in their domestic divisions, there is another German option on the board. Another side, rock bottom of the Bundesliga table this year, Union Berlin. Obviously managed to challenge briefly for the Bundesliga title last year, are in the Champions League, but this season, not going well at all domestically at Union Berlin. Smallest budget of the whole vote at £22 million in Germany. Forgive me, it was Lucas and Mescher at Wolfsburg, not Felix. Felix is at Dortmund. My mistake, I apologise. Here at Union Berlin, very low youth development. They do want the Champions League spot in the Bundesliga, though. They are wanting to continue to qualify for that tournament and to go well in the tournament, too. Quarter-finals of the Champions League would be expected at Union Berlin. The squad with a 5-back, so would be similar to Sheffield United, at least in the initial season, is all right. It's not spectacular, but it's not terrible. Again, Sami Khedira at CDM as an older... Well, he was 29. I thought he was older than that. More senior player. Robin Knocker is a player you'll be familiar with from his time at Norwich, although he's 31 and 34 pace, so probably not going to last that long. Kevin Folland is a player, obviously, that has done some bits over the years. Toussaint at centre mid is actually younger than I thought he was going to be. Is it Felix Kral? Oh, I don't want to commit to saying Felix. Actually, Kral is a player that gets recommended in comment sections from time to time. Jérôme Roussillon, a left-back, is a decent player. Shvolov in goal can grow quite well. He's 31. Maybe he's played very well against me previously. Maybe he doesn't grow quite well. Fofana on loan from Chelsea. But depth, again, not great at Union Berlin. So this will probably be the biggest challenge. Robin Goossens is here, though. 28 years of age, obviously former Inter Milan player. Up top is Becker, who's very quick and could certainly be the main goal threat for the side. This was where... Forest striker. Brain has died. I'm looking at his face in my head. And live chat will help me out, I'm sure. Taiwo Awoniyi. Taiwo Awoniyi came from Union Berlin, didn't he? So they do have a history of having some decent strikers. Leite, 24 years of age. Duki, 25 years of age. So there's some youth here as well at Union Berlin. But they're going to be your options. So in England, Leeds and Wolves. In Spain, Sevilla. In France, Lyon. In Italy, Fiorentina. In Germany, Union Berlin or Wolfsburg. Maybe you fancy the Wolves, but German Wolves rather than English Wolves. Have your vote on the straw poll. Vote for as many of which you would like to see or would be open to watching. And the save will start in due course within the next few days. As soon as I've got the thumbnail made and as soon as the vote has a definitive winner, the save will start and I'll order the kit for whichever team it is that wins the vote. Have your say. Let me know in the comment section down below which way you voted. I'm intrigued about this one because I think there are some good non-English options on this vote. English teams tend to do quite well. And if it is one of the English two, oh, absolutely, of course, we'll look forward to it. But there are some good non-English options on this vote as well. So I'm intrigued to see what you'd be open to watching. We will do Leeds regardless at some point. Either now or after this save. And we will be doing the Cambridge United Road to Glory because of course we will. At some point on FC24 as well. So there are 2 more English saves scheduled for FC24. We'll wait and see what you guys say. That's all for now. There probably won't be a video on this YouTube channel for the next few days whilst we wait for this vote to come to its end. But there will still be content on the second channel with the My Player, where I'm currently in Poland, but on the move very soon by the time you see this video. We're also at Cambridge on Football Manager. That footage goes live on the second channel. And we're continually pumping out Formula 1 content on the second channel as well. All of it gets streamed live on Twitch. And I will very soon be simulcasting and doing... streams on YouTube as well. So I'll be live on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So keep your eyes out for those in the not too distant future. Hit the notification bell and you'll know exactly when I'm going live. You may see a couple of test streams over the next couple of days here on the YouTube channel as I figure out all of the software and settings, etc. So don't be alarmed if you see a live stream pop up. It might well become a more regular thing here on the YouTube channel. Alternatively, if you prefer to watch live streams on Twitch and you don't currently watch the live streams, then do go and follow me on Twitch. Live streams there won't stop. That's all from me for today. Thank you very much for watching. Let's see which way you vote. Where am I headed? Where do I go next? I'll see you soon.